Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine, and this is the preview show. Now, every single time I have a different interview for a different type of show, but this is the preview show. I'm your host, Khalid Mohideen, and this is basically where we're going to talk about everything about the England tour. Obviously, England's coming to South Africa, or they're here already, actually, and we're going to be taking them on in a limited over series, and there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot of cocky England guys that think they're going to just walk over the South Africa. I'm not talking about the guys that are on the show week, but generally speaking, there's a lot of guys that are going to have a go for us. But we as South Africans have to stay strong as one unit. We've got the perfect blend of people over here because we've got England supporters, we've got South African supporters, we've got guys that support both. So I'm hoping really that this is going to be a type of show that's going to open up your eyes and give you some insights into the game that you wouldn't get normally. So what we're going to do is, of course, we're going to get straight into it. But before we do that, you guys know, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to this channel. Click that notification bell for all future videos. Now, let's get into it. I'm going to bring on the guests slowly but surely and introduce them to you. First up, we've got Aaron from Cricket Connoisseur. Obviously, he has an amazing Instagram account that he really updates guys with a lot of lives, etc. He's awesome content, guys. So please follow him. Welcome to the show, Aaron. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, mate. Khalid, thank you for the nice little introduction as well. Don't know who these cocky English fans are, though. I mean, we'll have to try and find them later on in the show.
We're definitely going to have to try to find them.
Yeah, should be a great series, though. Really looking forward to this. Two extremely competitive sides. And I think England versus South Africa series in general just bring out the best in the two teams. So I'm really looking forward to it. I cannot wait for the series to begin tomorrow. And yeah, should be an enticing series, to say the least.
Cool. And obviously a new addition to us, to our team, and someone that has been writing for us recently. And obviously she came on the show earlier on when we spoke about Quentin de Kock, and that is Lucy Rees. Now she's in the realm of both sides. She sits on the fence in the middle. She supports both sides, I feel. She's going to tell us obviously now who she supports the most and who she prefers. Welcome to the show, Lucy. Can you tell us who you prefer? Is it the Proteas or England? Just unmute yourself first.
There we are. Right,
Yeah.
sorry.
No problem.
So it depends who's asking, really. But yeah, I'm leaning towards England, I think.
Okay, cool. So now we've got they're outweighing us over here. They obviously are outnumbering us over here, guys. So we're gonna have to bring it and level it out a bit. Let's bring on my main man, Mr. Ravi Reddy. Welcome to the show, brother.
Hello.
I have to have someone in my corner.
Yeah, while we're on the topic of England, I have to say I really am enjoying The Crown at the moment. Season 4 is amazing, I have to say. If you haven't watched it, folks, watch it. Seriously, it's one of the best shows on Netflix right now.
How accurate is it according to the real life events?
Not 100%. Or according to the Spencers, at least, it is somewhat fictional. But it does tie in quite well to historic events. So there's a lot of references to World War II leading up to the Irish bombings in the 80s and so on. So, but it's probably one of the best shows. So sorry, I had to throw that in there, Khalid. You have to watch The Crown.
Great. Yeah. So this is The Crown review show. I'm your host, Khalid Mohideen.
Helena Bonham Carter, all the way. Seriously, love that book.
Yeah, so awesome, guys. So welcome to the show, of course. Shay will let us know when he's ready to come on board. We won't bring you on when you still. I can see at the back end that you're trying to look for a nice spot, etc. At least you're not walking around like a guy that's in the comments. Nobody walks around in the streets and gives us some nice scenery in America. I don't know if you want to call into the show. We would love your comments. Let me know if I must send you the link. Shay, are you ready to come on? Cool. Awesome. Welcome to the show, Shay. And this is the guy from Uneven Bounce. He has a YouTube channel. Go check that out and please subscribe to his channel as well. Obviously, another England fan. Although I know you like the Proteas as well.
Probably 60-40 England, mate. Probably 60-40 England. I'd say, always say England fan first, Proteas fan close second. Close second.
That's
You are
great.
lying. You are lying. Probably 75-25 or something
Maybe at
ridiculous.
least 70-30, but I have to just have to say, Cal, thank you very much for inviting me onto the show. I can see you brought the heavy hitters tonight. We've got Aaron,
Yeah.
Lucy, how you doing? I see a nice English accent. That's fantastic to hear as well. Bit of support here between me and Aaron. Big man over here, Ravi. I'm looking for kicking some dirt up tonight. I'm sure he will be. And so yeah,
Yes.
I've only been talking about the crown, so I don't know how much dirt I could actually kick.
it's quite funny actually because this show has become almost like a cricket show / Netflix review show. Because I noticed obviously Cobra Kai was obviously a big part of the channel at some point, wasn't it? So
I love Cobra Kai.
I know it's brilliant,
That's something.
absolutely brilliant. But yeah, no, thank you, Cal, for having me on. I'm really excited actually to get into this with you guys. So yeah, I look forward to it.
Aaron already has a little bit of a fangirl in the channel there. I mean, this wink there. Hi, Aaron. How are you doing?
Hello, Renal. Thank you very much for tuning in.
Okay, guys, let's bring on the next guys. We've got Lubabalo is waiting in the back end. Umpo, are you ready to come on the stream? Because now it's going to get proper raucous. And now it's time for us to take over. So, Umpo's ready. Welcome to the show, Umpo. We've got Lubabalo.
Aaron's like the Ryan Seacrest of cricket commentary, I'd have to say. I think it's we've been waiting for that Ryan Seacrest figure.
How's it, Umpo? How are you doing, man? I know you were going to come a little later. Okay, there he got kicked out. Lubabalo, you ready? You in the stream. If you're ready or not, yeah, come. So, yeah, welcome to the show, brother. Thank you for coming on the show. Where's that signature smile, bro? I thought you're happy to be here.
The man is even wearing his club cricket shirt as well. He's going to get very serious tonight.
Oh. That's actually my academy shirt.
Aaron, we're going to have to make some changes in all the squads over here tonight. We've got some all-rounders. We've got some proper cricketers over here. We're going to have to make some changes to the squads.
Indeed. Yes, I know.
Upo, you back?
I wouldn't qualify myself as a proper cricketer, though. I think I played one cover drive in my life. I can actually count the number of times I've actually middled it.
Same here, Ravi. Yeah, on my fingers, about that many.
Okay, guys, I think we're all here, and let's get into it. So, what we're going to be doing, guys, to everybody that's in the comments, I can see a lot of guys are here. We've got me and Werner, as usual, in the comments again. Me and Abai are in the comments to back you guys up hard. Perfect, because now you guys are completely out of the question. We are beating you guys tomorrow, and we're going to beat you guys today.
Fake news.
I'm joking. Fake news, yes. Okay, cool. Guys, let's get into it. Aaron, we're going to start with you. And I've made some graphics for each and every one of you. So that we can obviously get everything going. But let me first pull up the squads, the full squads. You can see South Africa has their full 24-man squad over here, or 23-man squad now because Dwayne Pretorius is injured. They haven't really given us an update on who the 13-man squad will be, or I don't know who that's going to be. I'm still waiting for the press release. Maybe they'll release it tonight. If they do, I'm hoping that they do, so that we can update you guys immediately about who's going to be in the T20 squad specifically, so that we know. I think they're kind of leaving it up to for England to guess, because they don't really know who we're going to pick. They have so many guys to pick from, you know. So apparently, Quentin de Kock said that that we can batter England tomorrow. So that's basically that's also fake news. Okay, guys. So let's bring on Aaron's team first. You see, England kept it nice and lean. So basically, you can really pretty much guess the opening lineup. It's pretty much easy. I mean, a lot of you guys have picked the guys that you want in the side. So I just want to make sure that everybody knows these squads are going to be the squads that we want to see play, or the teams that we want to see play. It's not necessarily who we think is going to start. We wanted to make it a little bit more exciting, because otherwise everybody's just going to pick very, very similar teams anyway, because, I mean, it's pretty much straightforward who everybody's going to pick. So let's start with Aaron's team. Aaron, explain to me what you've done here. Let's start with your home country, England. Was it pretty much straightforward for you, or was it I would take it that it was pretty much very difficult for you to pick an 11.
To be honest, with the T20s, it wasn't as bad. I'm going to be completely honest. Butler and Roy, destructive opening duo. Dad Milan at 3, the world's #1 ranked T20I batsman at the moment. Owen Morgan is skipper. Ben Stokes is one of the greatest all-rounders to ever grace the game, in my opinion. Sam Billings as a finisher. Moeen Ali again. A finisher role also offers that off-spin, can, I don't know, slow down the game a bit. Let's say if the Proteas do get off to a good start. Sam Cohen with the new ball. Chris Jordan and Archer at the death. And then, of course, Adil Rashid, an absolute magician with the leg spin. So I think it's quite a good balanced team there. In terms of other players I would have liked to have seen in the squads, maybe Matt Parkinson. I know he's been excluded from the squad entirely, but I wouldn't have minded seeing him in there. I know he hasn't come on the tour. And also Ollie Stone, because I read this morning that Chris Silverwood has played about with the idea of maybe putting some of the ODI players in. So Ollie Stone took 3 for 12 the other day. Is an absolute rocket machine. He really is. He bowls heat, arguably as quick as the likes of Norkir and Rabada. So maybe he could also get in there as well. But I think in terms of that 11, I think it's pretty balanced. And yeah, I'd like to see that team play tomorrow.
You're not hyping up your players like England normally does.
Not at all. Not at all. Definitely not biased to Warwickshire at all.
Okay, let me talk to you about the Proteas lineup that you picked. Very interesting. There's one omittance over here that we want to all climb into you for, but I mean, let's just get into it and let's get into your thoughts behind picking these guys.
Right, so with the opening duo, I went Temba Bavuma and Quinton de Kock. I think that's pretty self-explanatory, to be honest. I know a lot of people have been saying Reza Hendrick's name, Yanama Malan as well, but I think those two absolutely crushed it in the last series, so I've chosen those two to open. Number 3, Faf du Plessis, coming off a pretty good IPL for the Chennai Super Kings. Of course, it's Faf. He's a magnificently gifted cricketer, so he's my anchor at 3. Clarkson, again, a bit like the other 3, I suppose, had a very good series, in particular in Centurion, so he had to make my 11. David Miller's David Miller. If he comes to the party, South Africa going to get a big score. Now, I'm guessing this is where there may be a bit of a disagreement, and that is John Smuts. And I'm guessing it's because of his strike rates. But again, with Moeen Ali, he just offers something different. Who else in that team can bowl a bit of off spin or give you an extra few overs, unless Temba Bavuma is going to roll the arm with the medium pacers? So again, I've chosen John Smuts for that role. Pethel Akwayo is my bowling all-rounder, can finish off an innings if needed, but in all seriousness, he's there to almost be a strike weapon. Kahiso Rabada, Norkir and Ngidi, pretty self-explanatory. 3 absolute gun bowlers, extremely talented seamers. And then Tabraiz Shamsi, the magician, the man who pulls out magic tricks halfway through a game. He had to be in there. He's been in fantastic form for the Titans in domestic cricket. So, yeah, that's my thinking behind that 11.
Yeah, so the guys are obviously going to climb in over here.
Go ahead.
And we're going to get into the comments a little bit later, guys. So try to hold on to your comments because otherwise it's going to be difficult for us to pop them on the screen. Lubabala, I saw your private message here. You're going to be very shocked when you see Ravi's team. I promise you. You're going to be very shocked when you see Ravi's team. But let's get to the Aaron's team quickly because let's just tear this apart a little bit. Just a little bit, just slightly. My concern was not actually with John Smuts. Mine is with Rassie van der Dussen not making the side. What was your thoughts about Rassie van der Dussen not making that side? Because, I mean, for a lot of people would say he's the next best if you're going to pick a number 4 in South Africa's side.
Fair enough. I think, again, I've probably just gone a bit sentimental. I've gone off the last series. Clarkson was fantastic. He can play good cricket. And very good, Khalid. Put the spotlight on me for this one to get the South African fans engaged. But at the end of the day, I did put Rassie van der Dussen as a slash actually alongside David Miller. So I do think that he could potentially make my 11. But in terms of players I wanted to see Heinrich Klaassen. Used to play for RCB, has played in the IPL. As I said, played very well in the last series. So I just went off that, to be honest. Simple as that.
Yeah. I mean, Heinrich Klaassen can give a little bit of spin as well. So 1 or 2 overs maybe. That's also quite hectic. Guys, is there anything about Aaron's side that you want to make points about? Let's start with Lucy and then let's go around the screen. Lucy, Lubabalo, Shay, and then lastly, Ravi.
Is this just the South African team or?
Oh, both sides. Let's have a go.
Right. So I've just got a question to you about Tom Banton. What do you think of him in the T20 setup?
Oh, that's a good question. Obviously, he's there as a reserve. I just don't see him making the team, though, because when you look at England's openers, I don't want Tom Banton to be a number 5 or 6. I don't want him in Sam Billings or Ben Stokes' role. And when you look at this tour already, people are already arguing about Bairstow, Roy, Butler. Moeen Ali could even open. Then you include Banton into the argument. Stokes is open in the IPL. I just decided to go pretty bland, pretty generic. Went Roy and Butler, simple as that. But if Banton was in the squad, not as a reserve, I maybe would have put him in. But it's purely because he didn't make the final squad.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Lubabalo, let's give a comment on what was the biggest shock for you when you saw Aaron's side?
It's JJ. I'm sure you could have guessed that. JJ Smarts. I think if you really want to have him in your side, you're gonna have him in your top 3. It's either he bats top 3 or he carries drinks or he sits somewhere next to the boundary there. And you said you don't know if there's anyone who can offer the same thing as JJ. You also remember you have George Linder in the squad as well. Even though we were not told which squad he's in, whether he's in the T20 squad or he's in the ODI squad. And I think he would actually do better lower in the order. Rassi, as Khalid has said, you can't leave out Rassi, especially if you're leaving him out for JJ. No, man, you cannot. And another thing, Henrik Klaassen, remember, you already have 5 bowlers right in your team. You already have Andile batting at 7. So you don't necessarily need someone who's going to give you 4 overs. So you can even go in with a Henrik Klaassen. He can give you a few overs of, he calls it spin, but it's good enough to give you 2 overs in a T20 match. So for me, I'd say JJ sits out and then Rassi comes back in because he definitely needs to be in there. He's been bossing it in the MSL as well.
I was expecting that, to be honest.
Yeah, Aaron, look here. You're not the only one that's going to be torn apart here. All of us are. Our teams are going to be just spoken about. We're going to talk about who's picked who. You're going to see my team. You're probably going to be upset about my team too. So let's just all just have a nice discussion over here. And good points there made, Lubabalo. Aaron, nobody knows what South Africa's going to go with. Yours might be the team, bar maybe Rassi, but yours will be the team most likely. I mean, I think the coach trusts JJ in that position. I'm a big fan of obviously George Linder, but Shay, is there any comments that you want to make maybe on the England side of things with regards to Aaron? Just unmute yourself, bro.
The top order, I believe Aaron, you had Jason Roy in there, didn't you?
I'll bring the squad up for you now.
I did.
You could do, yeah, please. Yeah, just to check the memory. Yeah, I mean, the only question marks I had really over the side was regarding Jason Roy and Chris Jordan. Obviously, when you see my 11, that will obviously be quite evident. But I mean, all in all, it's a good team. I mean, I think it's fair to say, obviously, Sam Billings did so well in the summer, our summer, so he deserves to play. The massive question mark I've got, and you might know this, Khalid, or I'm sure Ravi knows this, but I'm not the biggest fan of Moeen Ali at all. And wow. I feel like so I'm really not a fan at all anymore. I feel like he's kind of that path has run its course. I would like to have seen a much more of a kind of a progressive selection for this squad. I think South Africa suffer from the same problem actually. People like Billion and people like that. I wouldn't have gone with them. I'd look to the future. 12 months time, you've got a World Cup. You need to be kind of solidifying your definitely your 12, 13 players who'll be in the round on that plane to India. So for me, Moeen Ali, I know obviously the spin is wicket, but I wouldn't have gone with Moeen. I would have gone, say, Matt Parkinson, obviously Aaron's mentioned. You could have gone with maybe Mason Crane, did well this year as well. It might have weakened the batting a little bit. That being said, obviously in a T20 match, you don't need 9 batsmen, especially with the 8-9 batsmen. Especially you could have picked maybe Tom Curran to kind of short up the tail as well to kind of help it down the order. But for me, Moeen Ali is the one that really stands out to me. Listen, I'm okay with Chris Jordan and Jason Roy. I'm pretty sure I didn't put them. Well, I won't say anything more, but in regards to my 11s, kind of just let it off there. But I mean, Moeen Ali for me, I know it's a bit controversial to say that, and I guess for me, I've always been saying about Joe Root, the potential of him playing in a T20 side ahead of Moeen Ali, because I think his bowling has improved massively over the last 6 to 12 months, and he showed that for Yorkshire. He even showed it for England, because Australia. So I think you could get 4 decent overs out of him. If you look at Moeen Ali's record over the past 2 years, it's abysmal. It's appalling. And I think, I think it's almost like it's Emperor's New Clothes, and their reputations are preceding themselves. I feel like Moeen Ali's been a mainstay that side, a World Cup winner, and so it's like, okay, let's pick Moeen Ali again. It's just very samey. It's like not real any kind of creativeness with the selection. So that's the one that really sticks out for me. I know it's controversial. Lubal is ready to go in it, man. So you can probably go try and shoot me down, but that's my opinion on the match. Yeah, that's the one.
Cool.
The 7. I would I'll exclude Moeen on this case.
Well,
okay, cool.
Shay, I do just have a bit of a retort, okay, for Moeen Ali fans out there, because I agree, in terms of ODI cricket, that's spot on. Both his bowling and his batting have been going down ever since 2017. But in T20s, looking at him since 2019, his strike rate's 168.81. He's averaging 5 more than he does in his career. He's batting a lot better. He's got a 50-plus score in there. Fair enough, the bowling has been great. But he's actually finishing off games. You look back to the Pakistan match, he scored 61 off of, I think, about 30-odd balls. So I for the moment, would put him in there.
In Durban as well, obviously, start of the year against South Africa. I just feel like with Moeen Ali, it's kind of like fits and spurts. I know T20 cricket can be like that at times, but I just feel like, there's potential there, I felt, to bring in someone new into the camp. I think Matt Parkinson probably deserves opportunity rather than just be discarded from the entire squad. I know it's a bit controversial, especially regarding T20 side, but I personally was stuck with Moeen Ali.
Yeah, okay, guys. Let's try to also like keep it short with Ravi, because we have a lot of teams to get through, and we don't want to make the preview way too long. But Ravi, just to say one or two of the guys that you maybe thought in Aaron's squad that you would not have, and would you replace them with? Just quick.
I mean, we could certainly tuck into this when we show my squad, but I didn't go with Sam Billings. I felt that you could actually go in with Bairstow and Butler. Both of them perform more or less the same at the same sort of performance level during the IPL. So I would have actually opted for both of them. I like the look of David Malan at 3. If I could replicate him, I certainly would bring him to South Africa. And just to address a common misunderstanding, David Malan was not born in South Africa, in case people are wondering. So as much as we would like to claim him back, unfortunately, he was born in the UK. But overall, I would say I like Adam's squad in general. I just wouldn't have gone with Billings. So I would have gone for another option at 6.
Cool. That's awesome comments. So guys, we're going to go on to the next squad. Just try to pick one major person from both sides. You don't have to go into a lot of depth with it, but because we've obviously heard a lot of the different people that we've heard from Aaron's squad, but I think a lot of the guys are similar, man. You're not going to get Aaron. Don't think that it's just on you now, because I mean a lot of guys would have got similar. But we got Shay's squad over here next. Let's talk about that one. He's gone for obviously Quinton de Kock Temba. But let's talk about your thought processes behind picking the squads that you have. Let's start with the England side, and then you can move over to the Proteas side.
Yeah, so it just events people think some conscious of myself regarding my Moeen Ali selection. Obviously, there for me, because these wickets, you need 2 spinners, and there's no one else really can occupy the number 7 spot. So that's just really out of necessity. I wouldn't have picked him. I don't think.
Don't worry, my turn is coming up as well. My turn is coming up. The Lubovala knows who I dislike as well. So don't worry, my turn. I'm gonna catch it just now, Shay.
Shay, go for it.
Yeah. So yeah, as mentioned before, obviously regards Moeen's there. I mean, you can bring up the list again if you don't mind, Khalid, just a South African team. Yeah. So I mean, you see there. I felt with George Linder, I don't think he's been picked so far of what I've seen on the other 11s. I just felt like, obviously, left home Orthodox will complement Shamsi quite well. It's his home ground as well. That's one of the reasons why I felt that. He obviously knows it intimately. Even in Paul, he obviously knows that ground very well as well. And I think he'd be very handy. I'd like to see him in the MSL as well. And I think he's a very handy player. I do want to see more of him. He kind of got the raw end of the stick, then he by making his debut in India. But I thought he quits himself quite well over there. And I just feel like he deserves an opportunity. The batting to me, actually, what struck out for me from a South African perspective was that it lacked really like huge impetus in that engine room of that kind of middle order. the kind of 3, 4, and 5. There's someone to come in and kind of blaze away. Now, for me, the more technical players, Faf, Rassi, Miller, they're not kind of guys who will tee off, for example, like a Josh Butler, from ball one. So, and Temba Vuma as well, another correct, kind of, loosely speaking, player. They're also, the brand of cricket's very different to England. That's why I was kind of struggling a little bit. I wanted someone there in that middle order, the Proteas cap on, to give it real impetus. If you're chasing 40 off 13 balls, someone come in and just blaze away from ball one. And it really had that. I was thinking about John Smuts, to bring him in as kind of a finisher, or to bring up the order and Miller to go into finish. But I don't think David Miller, I thought for a long time, is actually a finisher. I think that's a fallacy. I don't think David Miller, I said for a long time on my channel to other people, I said David Miller should be batting. You need to get him in the majority of the overs, 3, maximum 4. Don't bat him any lower than 4, especially in ODI cricket. You can bat him at 5 here in T20s because obviously you've got Rassi and Fafra, I think even will score even at a slower strike rate, and he's forced to play that role. But for me, to get the best out of David Miller, because that's unfulfilled talent. He's been playing now since 2011, 2012. Completely unfulfilled talent, David Miller. He should be spoken about in far, far better circles. When you talk about you talk about the top 10 white ball players in the world, or top 10 white ball batsmen in the world. David Miller had the innate ability to be one of those players, but he's never spoken about that way. I remember 2011. Aaron, you remember this? He played for Yorkshire against you boys in that YB final, that 40 over comp, and I've never seen cleaner hitting, beautiful striking down the ground. I think he scored 60 odd. It was a losing vein, unfortunately. He was 22 years old. Yeah, so he was young raw talent that's never been cultivated. Scoring runs against West Indies and Bangladesh, all due respect to those teams, are not going to take you to upper echelons of world star class batsmen. It's just not going to happen. So I feel like now at 31 years old, it's kind of do or die for David Miller. They have to use him differently. They've tried for too long, bat him at 6 and 7, and it's just nonsense. Give him as many overs as possible, and you will see the best David Miller. Sorry, Cal, I appreciate I'm going on there. Just I'm quite passionate about David Miller. So I will just shut up now. But I still feel like he should be up the order, and the sub should come down the order to kind of blaze in the way in the T20 side.
Yeah, we've all had countless of conversations about that. But Aaron, I'm going to give you an opportunity now to dig into Shea's squad. Who's the guys that you maybe thought that he picked that you wouldn't have? Obviously, we saw your side, but who do you criticize with regards to the selection?
To be honest, I think both sides are actually looking quite good. With regards to George Linder, I know that would have been maybe slightly controversial on my end, but when you look at that England team, in particular in mind, you have Milan, Morgan, Stokes, Ali and Curran, 5 of England's most destructive hitters. And as a left-arm off-spinner, he's going to be bowling into their hitting arc. So that's the only proper reason, tactically speaking, why I didn't select him. And in terms of Shea's England side, maybe best out for Roy, but that's it. To be honest, it's looking technically sound. And that's the thing with England. I mean, looking at the squad, because it is obviously a lot thinner, there's not 24 players, there's 23 in South Africa's case. I think it's more of a balanced lineup. So I actually quite like them, but it's just Linder and Smuts. I think that's the only one for me.
Yeah. I'm going to make a point quickly because, I mean, a lot of the guys there was the whole debate about which squad you're going to pick, if you're going to pick 2 spinners or not. When I went to the Titans versus Cobras game at Newlands, the pitch was turning always. So, I mean, the spinners were really playing really well. George Linder and the Breshams, you were getting amazing turn on the wicket. Obviously, David's Skierhout as well from the Cobras was also getting a lot of turn on the wicket. So, from the spinning point of view, it looked like a very spinning track, actually, that they prepared at Newlands. I don't know if it's going to be the same strip. They were talking about it. Owen Morgan was talking about it in his press conference, saying they're not sure what the wicket's going to be like. They're going to have to wait and see tomorrow morning before they make their final choice about their squad, because that will determine who they're going to pick. So I think a lot of guys are going to go for 2 spinners, also thinking about the World Cup. Let's move on to Lubabalo's side. Lubabalo, just explain your side, bro. Which ones are the standout ones for you? Just unmute yourself, bro.
Sorry about that. I think my side is a bit straightforward. I also went for 2 spinners because I'm looking at the World Cup. I want to see what George Linder can do for us, and I decided to have Klaassen at 6 because I think he's one of the most free-flowing batsmen in that side. because I didn't want to have David Miller at 6 and 7. I also believe he should be batting higher. Temba and Quinton, they select themselves. Faf, he selects himself. Rassi, he selects himself. Perhaps a big omission from my side would be Lungi. I wanted to go for a bit of variation as far as the seamers are concerned. And KG and Anna have been bowling well. So yeah, Lungi is unlucky to miss out. But yeah, I went for 2 spinners there. Andile Petrokwayo, he's our second highest ranked seamer in T20 International. So he definitely picks himself. The fact that he can hit the ball the long way. England, the English side, went for Joss Butler because we all know he's brutal, and I also went for the South African boy Jason Roy there. But I think from my side, probably Reece Topley. Yeah, I went just because I like the guy. I haven't seen enough of him yet, so I'd actually be keen to see more of him in when they play him.
Cool. I'm not going to let anybody rebuttal right now. We can rebuttal at the end after we see everybody's now. I shouldn't have let people rebuttal at Aaron's team at first, actually. Sorry about that, Aaron. I didn't actually mean that. I thought we were going to have enough time to be able to do it for everybody. Let's move on now to Lucy's team. Lucy, I have to this fight before I saw Lucy's team. Paul just wanted to say he's sorry about his connection has been poor. He's really sorry that he can't come on the stream. He apologizes to everybody out there that he came on and came off. He's going to try his best to get on the review show tomorrow after the game. Lucy's team, phenomenal. Lucy, just talk us through your team. Who are some of the star people? Who were the most difficult players to pick from both sides, would you say? Maybe just pick one from each. Which was the one that you struggled on?
So I was debating over the Curran brothers. And I didn't really know in terms of openers. I knew Josh was going to be up there. And in the end, I went for Jason Roy to open up with him. But I'd say them. I could see Joffre's in.
Joffre's in twice. Sorry about that. Yeah. Who did you have at 11?
I believe it was Adil Rashid.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. That was my mistake. Long days. Long days. I will make a banner right now to say that it was Adil Rashid.
And then over on South Africa's side, there's been a lot of talk about Miller. I'm quite happy where I've put him. I feel like he can come in if needed and finish off, or he can just stay put until obviously he is needed. But yeah, obviously you've got Quinton de Kock, Temba Bavuma, they speak for themselves. So yeah, I'm happy with my teams.
Yeah, when I look at it now, I love the batting lineup that you picked. Like, I mean, you picked quite a deep batting order for the South Africans. You're batting right on 8, which is awesome. So yeah, it's a very brave squad. Guys, sorry about that error. That was me that made that error. So don't blame Lucy, please, in the comment sections. That was all me, okay? Long days of work, a lot of articles. You know that we post over 8 articles today on the site. It was incredible the way the guys and the team worked. Phenomenal. Anyway, let's move on to Ravi. Ravi, this is your team. There we go, Lubabalo, because I can see you now looking and smiling a little bit because who's in his team? David Miller.
Right.
But explain this team to me because it's quite an unorthodox South African lineup.
Yeah. It is somewhat unorthodox. I would agree with that. I know we've seen recent success from Temba Bavuma as an opener as well. I've decided to go with Yaneman Malan just for the fact that it's the first T20 and he's done very well in the domestic circuit. And I think in the Cape Town Blitz setup, he and Quinton de Kock batted quite well. Faf du Plessis, I know it's a very generic pick, but in essence, I felt he stood out among the Chennai Super Kings in the recent IPL. Temba, I said, let's revert him to 4. Rassi Fadadis, I'll never go to battle without that guy. I don't know what you guys are thinking. Miller time. Let's go one more shot at Miller time. Let's give the lad another shot. I concur with both Luba and Shay that we might see better results from him if we put him up the order. The challenge I have with that is the other guys are actually performing relatively well in their respective positions already. So it'll be very difficult to upset the apple cart. JJ Smuts, I went with him largely because we learned that Dwayne Pretorius isn't going to be playing. As far as I know, I think he sustained an injury quite recently. And I said, let's go with two spin options for South Africa. Adile Feklokwaya, from a death bowling point of view, has improved significantly since the World Cup last year. So I think we should consider giving him a shot. KG, Lungi, and Tabrez, of course. On to England. I think where we differ with our English colleagues is that I opted to go with Johnny Bairstow as an opener, and along with Jason Roy, and shifting Josh Butler to the middle order. I felt Johnny actually outdid Josh in the recent IPL as well. I'm basing that as my sort of level of measurement, if you will. Darwin Malan, as I mentioned before, he's done very well coming in at 3. I've went with sorry, Khalid, you mind whipping after my short-term memory is terrible. Thank you. So much like Luba, I went with a bowling attack consisting of Reece Topley. I saw him bowl in Newlands and he bowled exceptionally well, and I think the conditions will be relatively similar up there in Pau. And I think you'll do relatively well. So in essence, you've got Stokes, Curran, Ali, Jordan, Archer, and Topley as your bowling lineup for the game coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And then you might obviously see some changes. I think the one thing we know about the English visitors is that they're not afraid to change where needed. And I have a feeling they might see a couple surprises. So in summary, England will go in with 1 less spinner. South Africa will go in with 2. That's what I think is going to happen tomorrow.
Okay. So, Lucy, I'm going to give you an opportunity to speak because I saw that you said something about Josh Butler at 6. What is your thoughts on Josh Butler batting at 6 over there that Ravi has in his side?
Well, I think after his run in the IPL, I think we've seen a lot of predictions where he's going to open up. But I think he'll definitely be in top 3. But it'd be interesting to see as well what everyone thinks keeping-wise will happen. Obviously, a lot of people had Butler and Bairstow in their squads. So,
yeah, okay, yeah, I think everybody does. That's kind of what it is. Let's just go into predictions. Let's start, Aaron. Let's just make this quick. What do you think is going to happen tomorrow? Who's going to win the match? Is it going to be?
I'm going to be honest.
Is it going to be straightforward? Also, you've say that.
I don't think so. To be honest, England are usually slow starters in series. So although I think we're going to go on to win the series just like we did last time, we lost the first one in East London, didn't we? I think South Africa will come on top in this one, and then England will gather momentum as the series goes along.
Mm-hmm. Lucy, your predictions?
I think England have got it tomorrow. They've played a lot of cricket since, obviously, the IPL. We had 2 series at home, whereas South Africa haven't really played since March. Not all of their Protea squad anyway. But I think the series will be close, like Quinton Cox said this morning.
Lubabalo?
I think tomorrow's game is going to be tough for us. A lot of our players still have to adjust from 4-day cricket to T20 cricket. And those 4-day matches were probably the only competitive matches that they've played. So for tomorrow's T20, I'm saying England is going to win it. Yeah, I love my boys. I love them so much. But yeah, I think England is going to take it. And even the T20 series, I'm giving it to England as well.
Yo, that's heartbroken right there now. Like, I don't even feel like finishing the show off. But let's go, Shay. Let's get it. Let's get into your predictions.
Oh, I'm torn, mate. I'm going to go with I keep flipping back and forth here in Aaron and Lucy. I'm going to go with an England win. I think obviously back of summer, played a lot of IPL, a lot of the guys there. I'm going to go with a bit. I think it's like a little bit undercooked, so I'm going to go with an England win tomorrow and the series win as well.
Okay,
2-1.
Ravi.
So I agree with Aaron's earlier point. England are slow starters in every series they enter. I would say South Africa 1-0 up in the first game. But England will make a comeback as they usually do, 2-1 in the end. Unfortunately, as much as I would love to say the green and gold will be triumphant, I'll be fooling myself.
Cool. I'm gonna go with South Africa. I think that there's too much at stake for South Africa to lose this game. I think that from a pressure perspective, it's not going to be from a pressure perspective that they're going to maybe bottle it. I feel that there's so much behind us. There's so many people that they have to prove wrong. They've been hungry to play cricket. I think that everybody's going to be excited. That's why I say that they need to pick a guy like George Linder. When I picked my team, I saw my team, Temba Vuma, Quinton Cock, to proceed, Rassi van der Dussen. I put in Klaasen, George Linder. I think Klaasen can offer something with the ball as well. George Linder, Andile Peklekwai, Kagiso Rabada, Anik Nokia, Lungi Giri, Trebe Shamsi. Now you can see over here that the batting lineup only kind of stops at 7. I haven't gone as deep as Lucy, which I actually looked at Lucy's lineup and I was saying, flip, that is the potential that South Africa can actually play. Just England, I went straightforward. I think the best top 3 is that. I mean, obviously, Johnny Best didn't get much in the IPL, but when he did have an opportunity, he played really, really well. And I think you can't leave him out to the side. I went for that top 6. Obviously, Moeen Ali with the ball, you need to be able to spin a little bit. I've gone Sam Curran because of his form in the IPL as well. Chris Jordan as well, phenomenal all-round as well. Jafar Archer, Adil Rashid, and Mark Wood I went with Mark Wood because of pure sheer pace. That's all. And I love to see him, and I love that song that the Barmy Army sing. So that's why I went with a guy like Mark Wood. But guys, I think I predict a win for South Africa, and I think it's going to be a very close affair. It's obviously going to be a situation where you got the new guys trying the old philosophy. So England's philosophy is all about playing aggressive cricket, smart cricket, and they've been talking about it for the last year. And South Africa has come out and said, okay, cool, look here, we are going to go with that too. So that's the case with me. I know Werner Erasmus telling me, yeah, Khalid leaving out the number 1 T20 batsman. He was batting a lot of the time when a lot of the other guys were rested. So that's my view on things. I think that when he was performing, I know Aaron's going to look at me and say, what the hell are you talking about? But I'm saying that there were some guys that England rested in some matches, and I feel that David Malan, I've seen him here. I've seen him here for the Blitz. It's not one of the guys that I would say was one of my favorite players, to be honest. There's a lot of flaws in his game, and I think that South Africans will be able to keep him at bay. So, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. We'll obviously be back tomorrow for the review show. For the review show, yes, I always mess that up. But we obviously will be back for the review show straight after the match. We're going to be very tired, obviously, guys. So just bear with us if we make mistakes, etc. This is obviously our first run at these things. But for the England guys, they're going to be sharp, because obviously they're 2 hours behind us. So they're going to be nice and sharp, and we're going to be half asleep. So guys, get your coffee, Lubabalo, Ravi, guys, get your coffees ready and your Red Bulls ready, and let's just give them a proper go when we win this match, and we can sit here proudly smiling. Hopefully we win this match. Please let us win this match. And I'm going to ask you English guys, you know how much we need it. So please pray that we win this match. Guys, thanks a lot for tuning in.
Why would they do that? Why would they come to?
Because we know they're closet Protea supporters. That's why. They only support
when
England because they're scared they're going to be kicked out of the EU.
When they're
that's
playing
why they're
Australia,
scared.
yes.
They're going to get kicked out of England. That's why they're scared, man. You see, they don't want to say that they're supporting Proteas and then they have to get kicked out and come back here and be players over here anymore. They don't want to lose their contracts, okay? So just leave it there.
Can I make one request?
Whoever wins, I'll be wearing that cap tomorrow. So,
oh wow,
you can
awesome!
that one,
you heard it from
awesome.
Ali, can I make a suggestion very quickly? Quick roundup as to who the each individual's player to watch tomorrow. The defining player. Who do you think is going to be the guy that's going to be standing out tomorrow?
Perfect. Let's go through that quickly, guys. Aaron, let's start with you.
Oh, that's an interesting one. I'm going to go Joss Butler. He's in good form from the IPL. Hopefully opening the batting. We'll go Joss.
Lucy,
I think he'll have a good game.
Lucy and Oliga Ajwa, you're going to pick Joss as well.
I was just going to pick Joss. I'm going to say Rabada. I think he's had out of the IPL, so I'm looking forward to seeing him on form.
Rabalo.
Henrik Klaasen.
Cool, awesome. And Shay?
Jofra Archer.
Okay, cool.
You'd have to announce me first, but okay, fine. David Miller. in the field. No, I'm just kidding. David Malan, definitely. I think he's going to score runs tomorrow.
Awesome. Okay, guys. From my point of view, so at Faf, I think Faf's going to be the guy that's going to stand out. He's going to need to hold that top order together. Thanks a lot, guys, for tuning in. Thanks for all the comments in the comment section. Obviously, don't forget to what? Don't forget to what?
Don't forget. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and click on the notification button.
There we go. Don't forget to subscribe to the magazine. We got an awesome edition coming out on the 7th of December, so don't forget to subscribe to that. Download the link is on the screen and in the description. Go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all of the updates. We are bringing out such amazing content. My team's really working really hard, and I'm really proud of everything they've done. You can see the stuff that Lucy's prepared today. You can see the stuff that a guy like Alistair's prepared today. Ravi's been updating us from Supersport Park. They've been working really hard all around the ground. So thanks, guys. And thanks to the guests as well for coming on this show. And obviously tomorrow as well for the review show. Hopefully we're going to have an awesome show. We're going to run things a bit differently. Let's chat in the WhatsApp group to decide how we're going to go with it. This was obviously a learning curve. Thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. And I hope you guys enjoy your evening, the rest of it that there is left of it. And we'll see you guys tomorrow again with another review show. Cheers, guys.
Cool. Thank you.